Hello, Sacred Souls. It's Susanna from Alamanic Shaman. What I have here for us tonight is a little shamanic healing ceremony to heal from the cheater wound. It's actually funny because last night I had a dream invasion where my first big love, who ended up cheating on me and leaving me, he came to me in a dream and we were both young and he kissed me and we started kissing and I didn't fight it even though that was such a long time ago. And that happened after I had a brief conversation with a dark spiritualist yesterday, and in the beginning of the conversation I didn't realize that he was dark, but realized it very quickly. But I think just that brief contact, and I had answered one question where I felt like it was a little invasive, but not too much. He asked where I was from, and at first I didn't answer, and then he's like, well, I'm from India. Where are you from? So I didn't see any harm in it, and that was actually enough of an invasion in 3D so that I could get invaded in 4D in my dream last night. And I felt the energetic impact right away because today I was a lot more blocked, and also it also reflects right away in my current job where I was getting less work right away. So anyhow, to make a long story short, then I came across a video that also talked about healing from the cheater wound. So those were a few things. And it just sort of dawned on me that for as long as that part is not fully healed within us, and I'm sure that many of us have had that kind of experience at some point in the past, either we were cheated on or we cheated on someone else, or both might be the case. So either way, that's part of the dark, demonic, narcissistic, sort of devil-like, I don't want to say agenda, but sorry, that's the word that popped into my mind. Programming. That's probably the better word. And that's what is being so normalized in the society. And even though, a lot of people think it's okay on some level, or they justify it, it causes a lot of emotional harm and damage, right? So even if it's 20 years later, 30 years later, that can still affect any relationship we have after that, and that can still allow that dark force access to us, because anything that is still unhealed is something that they can hook into to reconnect to us, right? So I figured this is an important one to do now. So I'm going to quickly go through the stuff that I have here, and I'm going to start in the center here. So first of all, I have a wire, because it's almost like society's programming has wired people that even though officially it's frowned upon, a lot of people at some point do cheat, right? Especially when they feel their needs aren't being met in a relationship. Meanwhile, it's not the other person's job to meet our needs. Well, at least not directly. I know that sexual desires are kind of a tricky thing, but let's talk more about the emotional side. That if we're fully and completely happy and fulfilled within ourselves, that we love and accept who we are, and then we get together with another person who is also emotionally in the same place, then there's a completely different dynamic. But in reality, in our current society, in our matrix, in the matrix, people expect the other person to fill the void that they have in their own hearts and to make them happy. But no one else outside of us can make us happy, right? So anyway, I found this piece of charcoal here that kind of reminded me of a devil's head a little bit. And just to represent the whole sexual stuff and cheating, I put a condom there, which I'm not going to put in the fire, but just to kind of, also get a sense here. Then I put 3 candles representing the 3 people that would be involved in a love triangle. And since the V is basically like at the bottom here, so this person would be the cheater, and let's say the longer one here on the left, and our heart is on the left, right? That would be the steady relationship, and this would be the fling, like the person that he or she is cheating on that person with this one, right? So, and again, like this could be male, female, whatever the dynamic is. But like in my case, since I'm straight, it was a guy who cheated on me with another girl, right? But that's just like in my situation. And what made it really even more toxic and devastating was the gaslighting, right? The lying and manipulating rather than taking responsibility, when my intuition, my gut feeling knew that he was cheating, and I confronted him 3 times. 3 times he lied straight to my face, and that's what makes the whole thing more toxic, right? So yeah, that's what a lot of, I think that's sort of that vicious cycle that, in my opinion, is sort of the devil energy, right? And I'm gonna have this represented by this reptile that's entangled in all the cords. And to me, like the reptilian consciousness, the reptilian entities, beings, souls, whatever, are the more selfish ones that have no empathy, which is like narcissists, right? And narcissists lack empathy for others. They're so focused on themselves and just fulfilling their own needs, right? So that shall represent the cheater. I do have my ceremonial scissors, but I think I'm not sure. I'll see how I feel guided if I want to cut these as well, but I have separate cords here that we can just cut. And 3 bottles that shall represent the portals and gateways, because it's not just between the cheater and the original partner and the cheater and the fling, but the original partner and the fling become energetically connected through the cheater as well, right? So there is a whole like dynamic of energetic, there's a true energetic triangle, right? And it's funny, it's actually that it's like a pyramid on its head. I didn't even realize it when I set it up, and now I realize it. So that's interesting. Okay, so we got these 3. Then the salt for banishing. I have 3 gummy worms here representing the evil snake that is basically like in all of those people involved, even the one who is not actively doing anything. And sorry, let me just relight this candle. One moment. Here we go. Okay. Oops. The ground is a little uneven here. Oh, and I have the green ribbon to represent the chakra color of the heart, right? what I wanted to say about the gummy worms, the evil snakes, is that in a dynamic like this, like there's a lot of narcissistic, manipulative, lying, cheating, deceitful energies going on, right? Or like Jezebel, some people might call it, right? And in my opinion, that has to do with the evil snake, because then all people start to play along and play their roles and lie. The person being cheated on will most likely, like in most situations, play along, but then send horrible evil energies towards that person and play extra nice to this one. Whereas the cheater will sneak around the original partner, but will also be unavailable at some point to the fling. And the fling will know about both, but also kind of sneaks around. And so basically, like, all three people involved are not fully honest and direct and, you know, have integrity, because otherwise it would not remain a triangle. If a person was truly in line with their thoughts, words, feelings, and actions, they would not stay in a situation like this, right? So all of them need healing, and that's why I brought 3 of these gummy worms as snakes to represent the snakes. Okay, so let's get started. Oh yeah, and we will slay the evil spirit, not spirit, like the evil, sort of like when a shadow takes on a life of its own, like it becomes this dark entity thing, right? I'm gonna call it like the Jezebel spirit, let's say, the dark cheating entity. Maybe I'll think of a better word later, but for now, let's call it that. So let's start calling in our spirit guides. Oh yeah, and I forgot, I put the dark feather to represent the dark, like the fallen angel energy, right? And, oh yes, I forgot that too. Sorry, this is going to be a long video. I have this, I don't know how well you can see, but this is dark mesh. So this is like a dark web or a dark net, sort of dark representing the darkness that's going on there, right? The dishonesty, the devil or Jezebel energy, and so on. And we're gonna put basically all that cheating energy into this log, which is almost like a huge representation of the male body part. But this shall not mean that it's always the male cheating, okay? We can actually sort of rethink of it, just basically that the wood takes on the representation of the act of cheating and any emotional damage and energetic damage that goes along with it. And then I quickly, like out of clay, I just made sort of 2 little symbols representing the male and female aspects of the cheating. All right, now let's call in our spirit guides. Dear Creator, higher power, source, and soul energy, our higher selves, our higher spirit guides of the light, our ancestors of the light, and great spirit of the fire. That's kind of hiding under there. It desperately needs more wood, but I'm going to throw some in a minute. Please help us fully and completely heal from the cheater wound and the cheater energies, the Jezebel spirit of any and all things that go along with cheating, the hurt, pain, suffering, the trauma, and possibly PTSD or CPTSD, but just that extreme pain of being cheated on, or like in the other case, the guilt, the extreme guilt that the person may not even be aware of when they're cheating, but that might sneak in later. And, first there's like denial about that, right? And also the other person outside of that original relationship also knows that it's wrong. And even though I wouldn't actually say it like that, but generally in society, people consider that person stealing the cheater away from the other one, even though nobody owns anybody, right? So no one is stealing anybody from anybody because nobody is owned in the first place. But it's just an unhealthy dynamic, right? So, okay, so please help us heal from any and all void and hole and emptiness within ourselves, within our hearts, and any and all hurt, pain, and suffering, any anger, any jealousy, and any misdirected self-loathing, and anything else that is connected, and guilt, blame, anything else that is connected to any of that cheating situation that needs to be healed within us, within ourselves. And the fear of abandonment that may have led to putting ourselves in a situation like this, consciously or unconsciously. It might have been the choice of our higher self that we needed to learn this lesson, right? So let all of that be healed on all the various different levels: physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, energetically, psychologically, in our aura, in our chakras. Let all the chakras be rebalanced and healed. Whoops, sorry. And in any and all other aspects that I may not think of now that might affect us. And let it all be done throughout all of time and space, throughout all lifetimes, timelines, parallel and alternate realms, realities, multi and universes, and any and all other aspects that affect us in this lifetime. And what just popped into my head as well was that a lot of the cheating patterns also stem from family patterns that are passed down and from abuse that is passed down from generation to generation. So let all of our bloodlines also be healed, and let those cheating timelines be closed so that we can leave all this lying, cheating, deceitful, manipulative dishonesty behind, and this possessive way of exerting control in a sense as well. Let all of that be healed within us. And so it is. All my relations. Let's start by let this piece of wood be the representation and the manifestation of everything I just mentioned. Everything that is within us that needs to be healed in relation to cheating, either actively being the cheater or being cheated on, or being the third party, or well, there's no other or after that, sorry. But either way, like in any and all of those situations. Oh, actually, there is another or. If you have a friend who knows either cheating or being cheated on, you may also be in the dilemma of whether or not you should tell their partner, right? So there's actually another aspect too where we're actually removed from this, but we know about it. Okay, so let us be healed from all of those situations throughout all of time and space, throughout all lifetimes, timelines, parallel and alternate realms, realities, multi and universes, and any and all other aspects that affect us in this lifetime. And our lineages, and also our soul from other lifetimes and parallel lives and so forth. Okay, so let's throw this in there. I'm gonna slide it in from here. Then I'm gonna put those representations of the body parts in there. I'm gonna throw the dark feather in there as well, and the charcoal that represents the devil. And actually I feel inspired to throw the condom in there too. Sorry, again, it's like normally I don't like to put anything that's not natural, but let's throw that in there as well. And I'm not gonna put the metal wire in there, obviously, but the green ribbon that connected those three shall also go in there. And give me 1 second, I gotta like push all that stuff in a little more. Let's get that in there. Whoops, okay, now we got it. And the 3 gummy worms shall go in there as well. 1, 2, and 3. And here we are. And I'm gonna push that in a little more. And I'm actually gonna put those candles in there as well. Gonna throw the candles right in there as well. Oh, this one went out. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, I have another one up here. Hold on. Here we go. Whoops, and it went out again. Never mind. Okay, so basically what I want is for all the wax to actually kind of fuel the fire in there. See? There you go. Can you see?